Hello and welcome back to FPL Neutral. It was so good to see Premier League football back last weekend and, of course, FPL as well. I hope everyone had a good game week. I know some of you will be a little disappointed with your scores, with quite a few big names blanking, but it's just 1 week out of 38. There's so much time left to catch up, and it is no reason to rip up your teams and play your wildcards and all that. So let's keep calm minds, and hopefully this video can help you with your decisions going forward. Let's jump into game week 2. In this video, I will just go through which are the players you can look to buy, or look to sell, or maybe hold on in your team, or even avoid completely. We all have one free transfer now, and let's jump into it. And before we start, let me just quickly go through my game week 1 score. I scored 64 points. I was quite happy with that, definitely above the average score. So a few players came in clutch, especially my Monday night Leeds defender Rodon came in with 7 points. It was very unexpected points there. So great end to the game week for sure. Of course, there's some more people did really well. Salah, again, I'm very happy to have him and as my captain. Came in the last minute with a goal, and that's what Salah does, right? Like, he's there on the pitch for 90 minutes. He comes up with those late goals, and is very happy, and especially because Haaland did score 2 goals later, so he was happy to have those Salah points early on. Then of course, Reinders was I think the player of the weekend, right? Where everyone is focusing on, because he had a fantastic debut for Man City. It looks like a great player. Came out with a goal and an assist, and at 5.5 million looks to be the star. And I'm like, I feel good to have him in the start of my in FPL already, because a lot of people are trying to buy him now. So I'm happy with proud of that decision of going with Reinders. And Spurs defense, Porro came through with a clean sheet. Could have had attacking returns, but against Burnley, they did well. He had created, I think, 3 chances and even had a shot on target. So I'm happy with Porro as well. Sanchez came through with a clean sheet as well, with an extra bonus point as well. Although Chelsea were a little poor, we'll get to that. Of course, I have the 2 Chelsea attackers in Palmer and João Pedro, who quite disappointing. Chelsea didn't really create so much. Palmer was a little invisible. João Pedro got substituted for Liam Delap, which was expected. But yeah, like, that's disappointing from the 2 Chelsea guys, and also from Watkins. I think Villa were another team which were quite disappointing. They didn't really create much. The Newcastle midfield really ran over them, and that's another place that we need to monitor. Jorginho Ruter, who was my differential in midfield, came through with an assist. I'm very happy with that. Although I was a little disappointed with his substitution after the 68 minutes, I think. So I hoped he would play the whole match, and we now know that he's not on penalties. So I don't think he'll last in my team for too long. But for now, great to get his 6 points. Bruno Fernandes as well blanked, although he was one defensive contribution away from getting those 2 points against Arsenal. He was playing a little deep, but almost had a penalty as well. So we could have been a different story if he had got that penalty and the defensive contribution points. The Nottingham Forest clean sheet as well got wiped out by a soft penalty, so unlucky there. Lacroix on my bench got 8 points. So Crystal Palace defense actually did well against Chelsea. It's okay if he was on my that he was on my bench. I'm happy to be able to play him in the coming weeks. So good there. So that's my team. That's 64 points. I'm quite happy with that. And now moving on to today's main agenda in this video, I'm going to go through a bunch of players from a lot of the main teams, and this is the format in which I'm going to do. So for each player, I'm going to give a rating of whether, if you own the player, should you be looking to hold the player, or should you be looking to sell? And if you don't own that player, should you be looking to buy them or avoid them? Now, it is game week 2, and I'm someone who doesn't really advocate for a lot of transfers, and somebody who likes to save up transfers, especially because transfer windows open. There is a lot of information coming through. We're still seeing how the teams are performing. A lot of them haven't really played at home yet. So although I might say buy or sell in some of these slides, I still feel you can take a choice of your, if you want to be a little aggressive and hold. Saving your transfer is always the option that you can go for the safest option to go for, and go later. Now let's begin, and let's start off with Liverpool. Now, I've basically taken the top owned players on FPL. You can see the list from the FPL side, and for each of them, I've given my rating of whether you should, if you're owning them or if you don't own them, what you should be doing. Now, if you can see Liverpool, where they got the win in the end, a late winner. They got the goals, of course, 4 goals they scored, but the defense was actually quite poor. They were conceding chances. They were quite open in the onto the counter attack. So I actually, given the next two fixtures at Newcastle away and Arsenal at home, I'm actually looking to avoid any of the Liverpool players to bring in, especially the defenders. As for Salah, of course, you can absolutely hold him. You can even, I think Newcastle fixture is still a captainable fixture. Maybe if you have other options, you can look there. Words was a little disappointing that he blanked. Of course, I don't own him, but I know a lot of people do. But still, I'm sure he'll come good. If you have him, absolutely hold on. Ekitike and Gakpo both got the returns, and they were. If you went there, kudos to you. That's great, really good points for you. But the only reason I put an avoid for them is because of the Isaac question, right? Where the transfer window is still open, Isaac could join, and we don't know how the minutes will be for Ekitike or Gakpo for that matter. So if you have them, absolutely hold on and play them, but I wouldn't necessarily bring them, especially given the fixtures as well. Van Dijk and even Frimpong was actually quite disappointing that he got subbed off just a minute before the 60-minute mark, where he could have got the clean sheet points. But he was subbed off for Endo, and when the Connor Bradley comes back, I think chances of him getting subbed off are even more. So uh, I would definitely avoid, and maybe even look to sell if you want to get some money in that point, especially because the defense is not that great. Now, moving on from Liverpool, next Manchester City. Next, I think a rejuvenated Man City. They brushed past Wolves like brilliantly, 4-0. I think the big man. We'll start with him. Erling Haaland was brilliant once again. I think he starts off seasons so well always. Again, 2 goals for him. I didn't go there, of course. I went with the Salah option, and I think anybody who went both Salah and Haaland were probably the winners of game week 1. But then it's just 1 week, and you can, if you can look to go there if you want to play a little aggressive. If you feel City are going to rampage on the all the fixtures, and Haaland, if you feel you can go there, you can look to buy him. Of course, it'll need 2 transfers. I don't think you can do it with 1 transfer. It'll need a hit. Maybe it's like a Watkins to Haaland and downgrade somebody like a Palmer, or down to some like a 5.5 mid, then you can do that. I wouldn't do that myself for my own team, but of course, if you're feeling aggressive, you can do that. Reinders is a second other option, who I think again is a flavor of the week. He was brilliant for the team. He got a goal and an assist, and at 5.5 million, and actually 5.6 now because he's gone up in price. He looks fantastic value, and definitely as an enabler for your team, this could be the cheap enabler that we can have this season, who could, I think he's basically playing what Gundogan played for the team over the last few years. So definitely a buy you can have. All the others I wouldn't really buy right now. I think the defenders, Ait Nouri actually came out with 9 points. He got defensive contributions as well, so that was great from him. But he did play left center back, and if Guardiola comes back into the team, we don't know if Ait Nouri retains his place. So we might need to wait for more information in that. So you hold on to him absolutely if you have him, and avoid buying him, I would say. Mamouche and Cherki both didn't start. So Mamouche at 8.5 million looks too much of a risk in Pep Roulette. So maybe I think yes, you can sell him. Cherki, because he's cheaper, you can maybe hold on, but I would definitely not bring him in because he didn't start, but he did get the goal. So maybe he might get the start now. Guardiola, of course, is injured right now, so do avoid. Now, moving on from City on to Chelsea, a very disappointing performance from Chelsea, a goalless draw against Palace. They didn't really create much up front. I think somebody who's owning double Chelsea attack in Palmer and João Pedro, it was a little disappointing to see. Uh, of course, they're playing West Ham next. West Ham are a team who just conceded 3 goals to Sunderland, so definitely not looking to sell them now. It's a wait and watch, of course, the next couple of games, how they do. João Pedro, maybe in game week 4, transfer to Mateta, who's playing Sunderland, then might be an option. But as of now, absolutely a hold. Palmer was quite invisible. He wasn't really getting into the positions you want. Of course, he's still on penalties, so can hold on. We'll definitely wait and watch for another week for sure. The defense did keep the clean sheet, although they did concede chances. Sanchez and Cucurella came out with 8 points each, so definitely hold. And if Chelsea defenses with the fixtures they have, West Ham, Fulham, Brentford, United, Brighton, so you can absolutely even buy them if needed, if you can afford that price points. So that's Chelsea, and then we move on to Arsenal. Now, Arsenal were a team that most of us avoided in our game week one drafts because of the fixtures, because they had United away, Liverpool away, City, and Newcastle in the first 6 weeks. So but then they did end up keeping the clean sheets against United, although the attacking threat wasn't really there. Gyökeres will start with, and very disappointing 59th minute sub for him. He didn't even get to the 60th minute mark. So definitely wouldn't be buying him given those minutes right now. And if anybody owning him might be thinking of captaining him this week because the fixture is against Leeds at home, I don't think he's a good captaincy option. Saka looks to be a good captaincy option, though. He is, of course, the talisman of the team, and you can definitely uh, buy him in. But then you don't want to be wasting transfers right now on this, I feel. So any Arsenal players you have, absolutely hold on to them because of the Leeds fixture. And then assess afterwards. I will say even the defense. I will say you go for Gabriel if you're looking to go there, because they still look the best defense in the league. So the clean sheet should come. So, and that's it. And on to Manchester United now, the team that Arsenal beat. Actually, quite an encouraging performance from Man United. Although they lost, they did play quite well. I think there's a clear improvement from last year, and I think they will do well in the upcoming games. We start off with Bruno Fernandes, somebody who I own. He was one defensive contribution away from getting uh, the 2 points from DC points. So that was quite close. And again, as I said earlier, he almost got a penalty. So we could have come away with quite a few points. I'm happy to have Bruno, of course. I think in the upcoming fixture run, he will do well. He did play a little deep in the game, but I think he will come up like with the returns for sure. Mbumo and Cunha both looked really good for United. I think they're both Premier League proven, and they showed it yesterday in the game. But then I'm not really looking to go there right now. We need to figure out, like, see how the team gels a little more. They haven't really even scored a goal yet. So Sheshko I will definitely avoid because he didn't even start. So we're not sure how many minutes we'll get. Bomo is the one I have my eye on because he's on corners as well. So maybe down the line. Dorgu is somebody who's been really attacking at left back, and at 4.5 million, if you're looking for a defender, that is somebody you can look to buy, especially for all these players. The game week 3 fixture of Burnley at home looks good. Bruno Fernandes could be my captain even then. So that's Manchester United. Moving on to Spurs. Spurs started off the season with a bang, a 3-0 win. Of course, it's against Burnley, who I think will be the worst team in the league this season. The defense came through, although Burnley did get quite a few chances. I'm actually, so maybe the Spurs defense is not very rock solid, but Porro looks good. He was creating chances. He was even got a shot. Van de Ven and the other defenders are okay. Like you can this week, of course, they play City away. That's the big thing. Should you be starting them? Should you be benching them? I think that the Van de Ven, I would definitely look to bench. Pedro Porro, I think I will still consider starting because he is in my team as well, and I'm looking to start him because I just feel he can come up with defensive contribution points in a big game like City, right? So, and possible attacking return. So that's there. Solanke, I would avoid. He's still, again, he's not back fully fit yet. And with Richarlison's performance of 2 goals, I think we're not sure how if Solanke slots right back in. We could see Richarlison move into the left wing, but again, both of them I feel are an avoid for now. If you have Richarlison, you can go hold on, of course. And Kudus, of course, I forgot to mention Kudus. He got 10 points. But again, I wouldn't look to buy him this week because it's City away. But I think down the line, you can definitely look to buy him. He looks like a great player for Spurs there. On to Forest, another team where we have a lot of assets there, and the defense just missed out on the clean sheet. It was a very soft penalty, but I think defense is still good to buy and have because of the fixtures. They have Palace, West Ham, Burnley, Sunderland in the next 5. So definitely you can look to go there. Chris Wood, the star, and I think we underestimated Palace's attack from preseason games. But Chris Wood, just like last year, he comes up with 2 great goals. I think he should continued the spot, the nailed as a first choice striker. Although they've just signed another striker, he should be on penalties. So I think if you're looking for a striker to buy, downgrade somebody like a Bowen or a Watkins, if you want, Chris Wood is somebody you can go for. He has risen in price. He is 7.6 right now, but that's the team. Elliot Anderson did really well as well. So he came out with the assist and also almost got defensive contributions as well. So Anderson looks just like we saw in preseason. I think at 5.5, him and Reinders, I think, are the best two 5.5 midfielders right now. So that's also a buy you can go for. Now, moving on from Forest onto Villa, a team which again disappointed quite a lot because they're playing at home against a Newcastle team which and they were really disappointing. Especially the midfield was completely ran over by Newcastle's midfield, and the attacking threat was hardly there. I think the first half they didn't really have any shot as well. So I have Watkins in my team. A lot of people have double attack in Watkins and Rogers. So it was quite disappointing. Although the fixtures are decent, they do have Brentford this week. Brentford is a team again who conceded 3 goals just now. So again, absolutely hold on for this week. Don't I wouldn't say panic sell unless you're really aggressive about Haaland, if you want to go from Watkins there. But otherwise, I would hold on, and I'm looking to hold on to Watkins and uh, avoid buying them, I will say, and until we see the team gelling a little more. Moving on to the next team, Bournemouth. They played really well against Liverpool. They got close to 2 xGs, I think 1.7 xG or so, and they almost got a draw there. So I think now that the Liverpool away fixtures out of the way, the remaining fixtures looks really good. That they have Wolves at home, Spurs away, Brighton at home, Newcastle and Leeds in the next 5, and that looks like a good run for attacking returns. I think Semenyo was the star. He scored 2 goals, 15 points from the weekend, and at 7, he's also risen in price to 7.1. But I think he's definitely a good buy to have right now. Evan Nielsen as in the forward line also looks to be a good option. He was also quite involved in the game, and with the fixtures coming up, definitely those are good buys to have in your team. On to Crystal Palace. They did well against Chelsea. They held on to the goalless draw. They are fresh off Community Shield victory as well. But the big question about Palace is that Eze looks to be leaving for Spurs. And once that happens, and even Gehi is looking to be leaving, I think possibly to Liverpool, the core of that team, the talismans of the team are actually going. And so that will affect the team quite a bit, I would think. So Gehi and Eze are actually the most owned players from Palace. So definitely, I will say do definitely avoid getting them right now. And if you have them, even you can even look to sell them. Especially Gehi, Eze, if he moves to Spurs, I think he'll be a great option. But we don't know when that will happen and how he'll blend into the team. So right now, I'd say definitely avoid them. The other attackers, actually have a you can actually absolutely hold them. I even have a buy rating for Mateta, Munoz, and Sar because I just feel that the team, the manager is really good, and he's somebody who can adapt the team. And Mateta should be on penalties as well. Sar is cheap enough and has good data. Munoz is the most attacking defender, I think, in the league. So you can look to buy, especially if not now, especially in game week 4 when they play Sunderland and West Ham back to back. So that's a good option to have there. And even the defenders who are not in this list, Lacroix and Richards, both of them are actually good options to have because both are good for defensive contributions, and uh, they just show that they can keep a clean sheet against the big teams as well. Now, moving on to another team, Brighton. Somebody that I have, Jorginho Ruta down there. You can see got 6 points. I was happy with that, but again, I wasn't happy with the substitution. He got taken off for Welbeck around 68 minutes. I was hoping he'll play with Welbeck and he can move into the number 10, but he did start the game at number 9, and so I think he'll continue to start. So I'm definitely keeping him for this week, but not sure if he'll continue in my team for too long because as City in the next fixture, so maybe next week we'll look to transfer. Otherwise, I think Brighton, the fixtures don't really look that great. It's Everton, City, Bournemouth away, Spurs, Chelsea. So I would avoid all of bringing any of them right now. I think, but if you do have them, you can absolutely hold on. Everton this week is a decent fixture. Uh, Welbeck, I would because he didn't start and he's not fit, so I would definitely sell. I will say if if you do have Welbeck. So that's Brighton. Moving on to another team which disappointed quite a bit, West Ham. I think losing 3-0 to Sunderland is definitely a terrible result. and there a lot of people do have their assets, although I don't. But Diouf and Fulkrug and Bowen were all in consideration, and they are in quite a few teams. And Sunderland fixture in Game Week 1 was the money fixture, right? That was the one that everyone hoped to get returns in. And now the fixture run looks a little weak with Chelsea, Forest, Palace, and Everton. So I will definitely avoid bringing any of them in because the team looks doesn't look really good. The midfield doesn't look that appealing. So, but I will say hold on, definitely Bowen and the defenders. Maybe you can bench them this week for Chelsea, and Fulkrug is cheap enough that you can play him every now and then. Uh, Diouf actually hit the post and in the game, and it could have been a full Krug assist if that happened, if that went in. Bowen is the one who is a little expensive, but I think you can hold on to him for at least one more week because he is the talisman. He can come up. He has the, he's a great player, and he can always come up with big moments. So for now, I think hold on. Uh, Moving on to the last team actually in my list, it's Everton, who played on Monday night, and there were a lot of people with hopes on Everton players, but they did end up losing. It wasn't a great performance from them. I think Leeds really dominated them. So I think Everton assets, if you do have, I think I would avoid buying most of them except Dewsbury Hall at 5 million. I still think he is a great option at 5 million because he played all 90 minutes, and he was, although he didn't really create or attack so much, but he's in those attacking position in the team, and I think at 5 million he should be good value continuing forward. The others I would avoid, but if you do have them, definitely you can hold on and play them this week. The fixture Brighton and Wolves, and the fixtures are not that bad. And Tarkovsky, just like we thought, he did come away with defensive contribution points. So I think that should continue. Beto I would avoid because I think the new guy Barry might come into the team. NDI on penalties again, you can hold on. So that's Everton as well. So I think hopefully I've covered most of the questions that you had. If you have any more questions, do keep put it in the comments. If you like the content that you're watching, do subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. Hopefully we'll be back another video this week, hopefully with more focus on my own team. So thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.